Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Before you drift off, let me know in the comments where you're listening from. If you're enjoying the stories, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's relax and jump into tonight's story. Tonight, we begin with a story from the deep woods of Montana, a place called Blackwater Ridge, where four friends sought solitude in an old RV, only to find something far older waiting for them. Imagine the towering pines stretching into a starlit sky, their branches swaying gently as a crisp wind carries the scent of earth and resin. Kaylee Winters, our storyteller, was 26, newly engaged, and eager for a peaceful escape with her fiancé Trevor and their friends Mia and Dan. They parked their creaking RV in a remote clearing, the kind of place where the silence feels alive, pressing against your ears like a held breath. The first night was simple. Campfire laughter, roasted hot dogs, and a sky so clear it seemed you could touch the stars. But then a rustling broke the stillness, too heavy for a raccoon, too deliberate for the wind, and Dan's flashlight caught nothing but the endless dark between the trees. By morning, claw marks scarred the bark, sharp, deep, and impossibly high, hinting at something that didn't belong in any guidebook. As the days unfolded, a storm pinned their RV with a fallen pine, and Dan vanished into the misty forest, leaving only blood-spotted rocks and a flickering flashlight behind. The air grew colder, the nights longer, and Kaylee couldn't shake the feeling of eyes watching from the pines, pale, glowing, and unblinking. One evening, a scream pierced the fog, and she and Trevor found not Dan, but a figure too tall, too thin, with limbs that bent wrong and teeth like jagged stones. It hissed, a sound that slithered into their bones, and they ran, hearts pounding, back to the RV, where Mia waited, trembling. But fear twists even the closest bonds. Mia, in a desperate bid to flee, shoved Kaylee toward the creature, a betrayal born of primal panic. The thing moved faster than the wind, silencing Mia's scream in an instant, leaving Kaylee and Trevor alone with the echo of her loss. They barricaded themselves in the RV, the night stretching endless as scratches clawed at the walls, slow and deliberate, until dawn offered a fragile chance to escape. With aching hands, they freed the RV and drove, the forest's gaze lingering in their mirrors, a reminder that some places hold secrets too hungry to let go. Now let your eyes grow heavy, imagining that quiet Montana night settling over you, the pines whispering you to rest. Next, we drift to Northern California's redwoods, where Tobias Marston sought peace among giants after a bitter divorce. Picture the fog curling through ancient trunks, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and moss. Toby, 42, parked his aging RV near Redwood Creek, craving solitude after years as an EMT dulled his edges. The first night, his lights flickered, a glitch he thought, until a ranger warned of a woman in white, a local legend tied to vanishings. Alone, he saw her, a pale shape gliding through the mist, her hair a tangle of shadows, gone when his flashlight blinked. By day, he found a vintage shoe, mud-caked and old, near the creek, stirring tales of a bride lost decades ago. Then came Bert, a rough local with secrets, threatening Toby to leave as headlights cut the fog. The woman appeared again, her hollow eyes weeping, leading him to bones tangled in roots. Her resting place, perhaps. Bert's men closed in, guns drawn, but her mournful wails scattered them, giving Toby time to flee. He escaped at dawn, her faint form in his mirror, peaceful at last, as the redwoods sighed around him. Let that fog wrap you now, soft and heavy, easing you deeper into the night. Our third tale takes us to Arizona's Painted Desert, where Noah Ramirez chased solitude under a blazing sun. Visualize the endless stretch of crimson and lavender rock, the heat shimmering off the Badlands as Noah's RV rattled into the wild. At 35, he'd quit his corporate cage, seeking rebirth in the desert's quiet, but a ranger's warning of missing hikers and a bruja, a desert witch, pricked his curiosity. Night brought chanting, soft and insistent, carried on the wind, and scratches marked his RV door by moon. Alone, he found an abandoned tent, its notebook scrawling of a woman calling from the ridges. And then he saw her, gaunt, dust-caked eyes pale as moons. A dust storm roared, her shape slamming the RV, until Noah defaced strange carvings in the sand, her shrieks fading as he drove free. The desert stretched silent behind him, its secrets buried once more, as he left that haunting beauty behind. Feel the warm desert breeze now, slow and steady, rocking you gently towards sleep. We end this part with West Virginia's Miller's Gorge, where Liz Harding hunted stories for her travel guide. See the fog cloaking the Appalachian hills, the air sharp with pine and earth as Liz, 37, parked her RV above the valley. Locals spoke of missing campers, and a slashed tent near a creek chilled her. Abandoned, silent, wrong. Footsteps circled her RV at night, cables cut by unseen hands, until Sheriff Klein revealed his trap, binding her for a hidden cult in the hills. In a rotting barn, she saw blood-stained proof of their hunger, but a desperate fight freed her. Deputy Rhodes' headlights cut in the dark to save her. The gorge kept its secrets as she fled, the mountain's whispers fading. Let that mist settle over you now, cool and quiet, drawing you into a gentle, dreamless rest. Welcome back to Midnight Rituals, where the night cradles you with tales of the strange and unseen. Our next story begins in West Texas, near Big Bend, where Sawyer Brown, a retired teacher, sought adventure in the desert's vastness. Picture the sun scorching the rocky bluffs, the air dry and still as Sawyer, 52, parked his RV under a boundless sky. A storekeeper mistook him for someone who'd passed through yesterday. Same face, same hat, unsettling him as he drove deeper in. At dusk, he saw a figure on a ridge, mirroring his silhouette, gone when he blinked. Footprints matched his own boots, his generator tampered with, and a trail cam caught his face, his own, sneering in the dark. The desert whispered of a reflejo malo, a cursed reflection, and by night it spoke his name, wearing his skin. In a canyon, thirst clawing his throat, he faced it, his double, cold-eyed and grinning, until a flare gun's light drove it back, flickering into shadow. Sawyer stumbled to safety, the desert's gaze lingering, a twin he couldn't unsee. Let that vast silence wrap you now, warm and heavy, easing you down. Now we slip into Florida's Everglades, where Gabe Johnson and his dog Buddy chased wildlife photos in the swamp. Imagine the cypress trees dripping with moss, the air thick with humidity, as Gabe, 41, parked his RV on a muddy levee. A local warned of a swamp hag, her eyes in the mangroves, and a storm trapped them, rain seeping through the roof. At night, his name echoed, soft, pleading, drawing Buddy toward the water. A gaunt figure rose, moss-haired and jagged-toothed, lunging as Gabe swung his camera's flash, its strobes scattering her. They fled, the hag's wail fading, found by rangers at dawn, the swamp silent once more. Picture that warm, wet air now, rocking you like a cradle, soothing you to rest. Our seventh tale drifts to Maine's orchards, where Dominic Rivers sought harvest beauty for his blog. See the apple trees glowing gold and crimson, the air crisp as Dominic, 39, camped near Dawson's barn. Livestock vanished, bloodless, puncture wounds marking their throats, and whispers spoke of a curse under the harvest moon. His fuel line cut, he stayed, camera ready, and saw it. A pale, fanged thing in the barn, feeding on Eileen. With Marvin's help, he staked it, its body crumbling to ash as moonlight burned its flesh. The orchard sighed in relief, its secret buried with the dawn. Let that cool autumn breeze drift over you, slow and steady, carrying you deeper. Next, we wandered to Oregon's coast, where Clara Ellis, 32, camped in her RV near a fog-shrouded cliff. The ocean murmured below, its rhythm steady as Clara sketched the misty shore, seeking peace after a lost job. Fishermen spoke of a siren song luring boats to ruin, and at night a melody drifted, soft, hypnotic, calling her name. Footsteps circled her RV, wet and bare, and a woman's shape flickered in the fog, eyes like sea glass. Clara locked the door, the song fading as dawn broke, the coast silent once more. Feel that gentle tide now, pulling you under, soft and calm. We close this part in Nevada's desert, where Riley Quinn, 28, chased UFO tales for a podcast. Picture the starlit dunes, the air cool as Riley's RV hummed near a restricted zone. Lights danced in the sky, too smooth for planes, and a voice crackled through static, her own, warning her away. Tire tracks matched her own, circling back, and a figure in a hazmat suit watched, vanishing when she blinked. She drove off, the lights fading, the desert keeping its riddle. Let those stars shine above you now, distant and quiet, guiding you to sleep. You're still with midnight rituals, where the night's embrace deepens with every tale. We begin this part in Colorado's mountains, where Lena Voss, 45, sought solitude in her RV after a family rift. Imagine snow-dusted peaks, the air sharp as Lena parked near a frozen lake, the silence vast and cold. Locals whispered of a miner's ghost lost in a cave-in, and at night, tapping echoed, faint, rhythmic, like a pickaxe. Her RV shook, footprints circling in the snow, and a shadow loomed eyeless and gray. She fled at dawn, the tapping fading, the mountains still. Let that chill settle over you, soft and heavy, lulling you down. Next, we drift to Louisiana's bayou, where Marcus Tate, 33, fished from his RV near dark waters. Picture the cypress knees rising from the murk, the air thick as Marcus heard a rougarou tale, a beast born of betrayal. At night, growls rumbled, eyes glinting red, and claw marks scored his door. He shone a lantern, the shape vanishing, the bayou quiet once more. Feel that warm, damp air now, wrapping you gently, easing you deeper. Our 12th story takes us to New Mexico's mesas, where Ava Ruiz, 29, camped to stargaze. See the sky blazing with constellations, the air dry as Ava's RV sat near ancient ruins. Whispers spoke of skinwalkers, and a coyote's howl stretched too long, too human. Her shadow moved alone, eyes peering from the dark, gone when she turned. She drove away, the mesa silent, its secrets old and deep. Let those stars glow above you, calm and distant, rocking you to rest. We wander now to Idaho's forests, where Julian Hart, 50, sought quiet after retirement. Imagine pine needles carpeting the ground, the air cool as Julian's RV nestled near a river. Tales of a cursed trapper lingered, and at night a whistle pierced the dark, shrill, endless. His fire dimmed, a figure in furs watching, vanishing as dawn crept in. the forest side, its mystery unsolved. Picture that river's flow now, steady and soft, carrying you under. This part ends in Alaska's tundra, where Nora Kane, 36, photographed the aurora from her RV. Visualize the green lights dancing, the air frigid as Nora heard of a hunter spirit lost to the ice. Footsteps crunched outside, a face pressed to her window, pale, frost-bitten, gone in a blink. She left, the tundra vast and still, its chill lingering. Let that cold wrap you now, slow and quiet, drawing you to sleep. Welcome to the final stretch of midnight rituals, where the night folds you into its last tales. We begin in Utah's canyons, where Theo Miles, 40, camped to escape a broken past. Picture red rock walls glowing under moonlight, the air dry as Theo's RV sat in a lonely wash. Locals spoke of a lost expedition, and at night voices murmured, faint, overlapping, calling his name. Shadows stretched too long, fading at dawn, the canyon silent once more. Feel that warm stone under you now, steady and calm, easing you down. Next, we drift to Tennessee's hills, where Sadie Brooks, 31, wrote music in her RV near an old mill. See the fog cloaking the trees, the air damp as Sadie heard of a hanged man's ghost. Strings twanged outside, a figure swaying in the mist, gone when she looked. Her songs grew softer, the hill quiet, its echo stilled. Let that mist settle over you, cool and gentle, lulling you deeper. Our 18th tale takes us to Wyoming's plains, where Eli Cole, 47, sought peace after loss. Imagine the wind sweeping the grass, the air sharp as Eli's RV stood alone. Tales of a phantom rider rose, and hoofbeats thundered at night, a shadow galloping past, vanishing into the dark. He drove off, the plains vast and calm. Picture that breeze now, slow and steady, rocking you to rest. We near the end in Michigan's woods, where Harper Lee, 34, camped to paint the fall leaves. See the oaks blazing red, the air crisp as Harper heard of a witch's curse. Footsteps rustled, a voice chanting her name, and a shadow loomed, dissolving at dawn. The wood sighed, its spell broken. Feel those leaves fall around you, soft and quiet, guiding you under. Our final story lands in Nebraska's fields, where Owen Reed, 43, farmed in his RV near a forgotten silo. Visualize the corn swaying, the air warm as Owen learned of a scarecrow that moved. At night, straw crunched, a figure stood in the moonlight, tall, eyeless, gone by morning. He left, the fields still, their secret buried. Let that warm earth hold you now, heavy and calm, carrying you to sleep. And so, Midnight Rituals bids you good night. These 20 tales of horror, myth, and conspiracy have woven a tapestry of the strange and soothing. Let the shadows of these places fade, their whispers growing distant as you drift into a deep, peaceful slumber. Sleep well until the night calls again.